Yo, check it out, man. Anime Hanashi is what you're watching. The podcast that you won't be dropping. That's listed everywhere. Causing drama from the city of Compton to Akihabara. Talking about anime, it ain't no stress. The podcast is sure to impress. With me, Lewis, and the rest of the crew. Sit back, relax, and we'll show you how we do. Oh, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Anime Hanashi, the new podcast series, the podcast series that you won't be dropping. So today, I have with me Callum and Taylor from their channels that I'll put in the description and stuff, but they're going to be two of the guests, but they're not going to be every week.
Thank God.
So don't get too comfortable.
Oh yeah,
guys.
no, they wouldn't want me and Callum.
Yeah. We could be kicked out at any moment.
But I will have other guests, but it'll be a mixture of other guests. But this episode, we have Taylor and Callum. So I'll just talk about how this podcast works, because it might be quite confusing. So it is a podcast, but not like a podcast you've seen before. It's not like none of your other anime podcast nonsense.
Not anime.
This,
no.
The two guests will be competing for points.
What?
That will be scored through various games that we're going to play.
What do we get if we get so many
Yeah,
points?
what do
if
we
we
win?
beat?
There's a massive prize at the end.
Whoa. Never heard about
God,
this.
I can't
A
wait.
huge prize.
No, I'm not even gonna ask what it is. I'll just wait until the end. Oh.
Yeah. I don't want to.
It's so massive I couldn't even begin to explain what it is yet.
Okay, of course.
So really quickly about how the podcast will be released. Every episode of the podcast will be 100% free on YouTube, but new episodes will be released early on animehanashi.com. So they'll be released 2 or 3 weeks earlier than the YouTube release. So these episodes can be purchased for £1 at animehanashi.com. But like I said, if you don't mind waiting a few weeks, they will be free on YouTube. Think of it as not only a way to get new episodes early, but as a way to support the channel and support the podcast. It's a very small price tag for the amount of time and effort I have to put into making these podcasts. And the more you guys support the podcast, the more the podcast can be made, and the better the podcast can be made. So we're going to start off with the first feature of the podcast. We're going to start off with, what have you guys been watching?
That's a tough one. Like I never expect that question when I'm going onto a podcast. That's
Yeah.
took me
Well, I
off
thought I'd go
guard.
for an orthodox question.
Yeah,
to start
I
off
know.
with.
Remember, this is the podcast like no other, and it's starting with that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
This is going to make people not drop the podcast, because it's going to be the podcast that they won't be dropping.
It's
All right,
yes.
Callum. Do you want me?
So-
do you want me
so-
or you to start, Callum? Come on.
You
Let's
s-
start with Callum,
Oh,
Go on,
because his
Callum.
name's first in the alphabet.
Yeah,
That's how life
that's how it
works.
works.
Please tell
Callum,
me.
what have you been watching?
Please tell me you two have been watching Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis.
Oh, I know, I've been watching it.
Yeah, nah.
Has
no,
Taylor been watching
no.
it?
I
No,
refuse to watch it
Taylor's
just because
got a
Callum
big
keeps
scum.
telling me to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Blasphemous,
put out a
that's
call
terrible.
out for every Galaxy member to watch it, or they're fired.
And
Taylor's on
that's
the
why I'm
streets
just
right now.
refusing.
Why just exclude that to the Anime Galaxy though? Why not just say everyone has to watch
That's-
Shingeki no Bahamut?
That's a good point.
Or they get fired from life.
Yeah, viewers, even those that have paid an entire £1 to be here, if you
Well,
don't
no, the
watch
first
it,
episode's free anyway, so
oh yeah, free.
no one's paid £1 for this one.
Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis is the return of adventure anime. Would you say that has weight?
Here we go.
I would say that it's one of the better adventure anime I've seen since I started watching airing anime,
Yeah,
which was like 2012. Because normally they don't tend to be that adventurous, and
Yeah,
they normally
yeah.
just stay in the high school or wherever
Yeah.
they're set. They just tend not to
even
leave those. But this one, I mean, they're going like into like zombie towns. They're going into like, I watched the last episode I watched was quite funny. I need to rewatch it because I'd just gotten from uni and I was super tired and I was like in a sleepy daze while I watched it, and I kept kind of falling asleep and then coming out of the sleep the whole episode. And it was the episode, like, I can't even remember, like they went into some like demon world and like started fighting demons or something. Oh, it was really weird. I've just got half a memory of
think
like
I know
half
what
an
you're talking
episode of
about.
that. I think it was episode 5 or 6, I think.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
When they
last one I
invaded
watched.
the demons, the
Yeah.
ship, their ship. Yeah.
You're not really selling it to me, Callum, honestly. I'm sat here. I'm
but-
waiting for you to tell me why this show is so goddamn good. and
Well,
I'm
that's the
just-
thing.
Why should
If-
Taylor watch
yeah.
this show?
Yeah.
Every single
Go on.
episode, as they go through, it's an entirely new location. It's an entirely new story. Yet, unlike
so this is
episodic
just Space
adventure
Dandy,
shows-
right? Space
no,
Dandy?
but Space Dandy is like an episodic adventure show. What this is
This is all connected.
It's all connected. It's all down a streamline, and you feel like you're on this epic high seas adventure with this cast of fun characters. It's a blast.
So basically, they need to get from one location to another location, some like city far away, and it's the two characters, and they've got a bunch of other characters that kind of, in a kind of old school style, kind of get in the way, kind of like an old school comedy where they always bump into each other and stuff like that, and get into their funny episodes and weird dilemmas. But I know it's like, it's hard to compare it to other shows because it's in between an episodic show and a non-episodic show. It is weird.
Yeah, it's episodic in the way that we have all these stories connected together, and they do fit a somewhat one episode format, somewhat.
Yeah.
Except the way that it's strung together and the way that it never feels disjointed, the way that you can see what's coming next. Somewhat.
Yeah, and the characters kind of actually develop instead of like almost resetting every episode. Like a lot of episodic shows fall into the trap where their characters don't change. Each episode is just the same character doing it. In this, the characters actually change and develop, and I mean they start the anime as this kind of not really friends and not really have a connection, but they kind of grow and change, and it's very different friendships, different emotions kind of coming into it as the episodes go on. So it has a nice little balance of having all the pros of an episodic show and all the pros of just one arc show, which is really good, really nice and unique.
There's also this idea that there is this really serious story going on, and the basis of it, like the whole idea with Bahamut, a dragon that's going to destroy the world and whatnot, that's serious. But the characters that we're following, especially Favaro, they're just taking it really silly, and they're just bumbling around the country. That's what's making it fun. That's what...
Yeah. It is like a classic comedy. It is kind of has that classic comedy feel. Like because although it may sound like saying the premise where they have to get here and it's all adventurous, sounds like it isn't a comedy, but it is actually very funny. Like they actually use genuine comedy to make funny moments in the show. It's quite good.
Yeah.
So I think fans of adventure stuff will like it, and then fans of comedy stuff will like it. So this kind of appeals to everyone, and there's a little bit of romance going on as well.
Oh, I love a bit of romance. Lovely. But the important thing for me when I'm watching an adventure show is how good is the world building. Because for me, in an adventure show, the world around the characters itself is probably one of the most important aspects for me.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty well designed world, to be honest. It's kind of like medieval, but also has kind of like demon stuff going on in it as well. I don't want to say magic because that sounds kind of corny, but it has kind of demony stuff, kind of like Berserk, where it has kind of subtle demons in it, but it doesn't dominate the show.
Yeah, I do think that there's an issue in that they haven't really built that up in a way that makes it prevalent to us. It always does feel like it's in the background, even though it still is relevant.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long the series is, but if it's only 12 episodes, then I don't think they're going to be able to do it well. But the world's interesting, but I don't.
It has a nice style.
Yeah, but I don't think we've seen much real interaction with it. Like we've seen the whole like Leviathan with the demons flying through the sky, which is awesome. We saw the cool ship battle sort of thing. But then when you look at some of the other episodes and there's some of the other places they've been to, it doesn't feel like they've really taken in that world. And
yeah, thinking about it now, like the anime is actually kind of almost in its own little bubble, The characters are in their own little bubble, and I think that helps with the comedy because it means it doesn't get completely serious. They still have that little bit of leeway where they can add in comedy because there's, I don't know, it does seem a little bit disconnected from reality. The way they kind of like always bump into each other and always get on these mad adventures, which I think is a good thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, but I just feel that they need more time for this. I can't see this being a short series.
Yeah, I'm sure if it does well, we'll get a season 2 because I think they could easily make a season 2 out of it.
Yeah, definitely. It just needs more antics, more places, more locations. That's all they need.
So Taylor, are you convinced to watch Shingeki no Kyojin?
See.
Know this: if you don't, you're fired.
That's the important thing. Yeah, I'm fired from anime itself, so I'm guessing I have to watch it now because I like watching anime.
You have to come on the next episode of Anime Hanashi that you'll be on and talk about it as what you've watched.
Oh
yeah.
No, that's a great idea. When I think that's genius. Okay, no.
1 year later,
try, of course. Yeah, of course. I'll give it a try because Callum's the boss. Got to do whatever.
Just give that first episode a shot because there's this scene at the very first episode that pretty much sums up exactly what the show's going to be. Like
the first 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, first 2 minutes. They're doing the bumbling around town. It's the Favaro, whatever the other guy's name. They're shouting around. They're fighting. But it's fighting in such a comedy sense. It's like it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. I'd actually say Pirates of the Caribbean is probably one of the biggest things I can think of.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's got that little comedy side to it. Yeah, there's always going to be this darker plot but that's in the background because we're focusing on the characters at the moment.
Before we go into what everyone else is watching, we're going to play a game.
Is it Super Smash Bros?
We're not going to play Super Smash Bros. Because that would be incredibly hard to do through audio only. Unless you guys want to shout what buttons you are pressing, and like the other person has to guess what moves they're making. That'd be maybe when we get a bigger budget and we can invest in cyber brains that can process all the information through audio. But maybe after like episode 3 or 4 we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
But now we're going to play a simple game. And you can get a total of 4 points out of this game, guys. Ooh. So it's important. It's called Guess the Year.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Guess the year. Oh, okay.
It's 2014.
Pretty self-explanatory, to be honest.
Yeah.
I say an anime.
Oh.
And you guys both. It's not like a first one to answer. You guys will both give me a year.
Yeah.
Whoever gets it right gets a point.
Ooh, okay.
But a little twist: if you guys both say the same year and it's right, nobody gets a point.
Oh.
What if can't we say the season and just one up them?
Oh yeah, a season. But I don't know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you'd be right or not.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be coming in episode 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first anime, starting off, I think one of the more popular anime is Cowboy Bebop.
Shit.
I knew he was gonna say
what
Bebop.
What year was Cowboy Bebop?
I have 3 years in my head. It's.
I can't just
was
Google
it
it.
1932?
Oh.
Was it 2001?
Wait, what
was it? 1856?
Oh, I thought he was actually giving us options then. I was like,
yeah.
No.
I was going.
I'm just trying to get the
really
brains
nice.
No, I'm just reminding you guys what years sound like. Just in case you'd forgotten.
I'm gonna say. Oh fuck. Shit. Am I allowed to swear? Or is that far too late?
Nope.
Oh great.
You're minus 1 point.
well, fuck.
Okay, we're both on -1 point. It's great.
If you guys don't think of years, it'll just be like it will just go on forever. -20, -30.
I'm gonna say definitely one of these 2 years in my head.
1988.
1988. Okay.
1988. Okay, I'm gonna go 97.
Oh, neither of you were correct. But Taylor, you were so close. It was 1998.
Fuck's sake!
Oh,
I guess you guys were both
I had the
pretty
8
close.
in my head, but
yeah, you had the 8, but you just had the wrong decade.
No,
it was 1998.
the 2 answers I had in my head was 97 and 99, so I was gonna be wrong either way. Brilliant. All right, I had that in my head.
So no points there.
Oh,
Brilliant.
great.
No one even got it right. I got it right though, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Lewis,
Congratulations.
the host is already winning. God.
Yeah, well, the host is always the winner, isn't he? Okay, so the second is a movie this time, Summer Wars.
Okay. I'm gonna
2011.
2011.
I'm gonna go 2011.
We guys can't do the same one because nobody will get a point.
Yeah, fuck. That was gonna be my strategy. See, if I didn't know,
If you just keep doing the same one as Callum.
Well, then,
Yeah,
if
no,
you
if I
think,
did- if-
yeah, if you think I've
if I
got
didn't know
2011's right, then you can just cancel out my victory.
no, yeah,
If
yeah,
you're confident that it's 2011.
no, because that's the thing. If I don't know what the answer is, I can just say whatever Callum says, and I can cancel out his answer, so he doesn't win. But
Or you could guess.
I guess
and maybe
possibly,
score a
yeah.
point.
no, okay, Summer Wars is definitely 20.
The year 20.
It might be the year 20 if I'm thinking about it. Okay, no, I'm definitely going to go with 2011. Not because I want to cancel out Callum. I actually think it's 2011.
You guys were so close to getting it. It was 2010.
I'm fucking
Okay.
Again, so
the next
emotionally
We're terrible at
invested
this.
into this game.
Not 1 point. 2 quick. Okay, so the next one is Gurren Lagann.
2007.
2008.
Okay. Oh, that was pretty close. You guys both seem confident, but your answers are okay. It was 2007.
Oh shit.
Did you know that for a fact, or was that a
No, I-
rough estimate?
I knew that.
You were just trying to keep it on the down low.
Oh,
just in
I
case
was,
Callum
yeah.
sussed that
I was
out.
trying to
Yeah,
act all
yeah.
nonchalant about it.
I see. Through these last few questions, I've been thinking Taylor knows nothing. I don't need to copy his answers. He's never got it right. Ah, damn.
Taylor doesn't
2007.
watch anime. Taylor doesn't even watch anime anyway, so why would he even know the dates of said
Yeah,
shows?
You've been banned, yeah.
So the next one is the final one of this round, the final one of this game.
Okay.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Which
The
one?
TV series.
The
The TV series, not the movie.
No, the first season or the second season?
The first season.
2003.
2003.
I've got here is 2006. You seem more confident than me, though.
Isn't that?
Is my information wrong?
Isn't that when they did the rebroadcast?
No, he's right. I fucked up. Callum clearly just copied me then.
I did.
'cause
I
was so
copied. I
confident
copied
about
Taylor
it.
because this time he was confident, and
I was
I was
confident.
so confident.
I was thinking 2006.
I doubted myself
I
there.
as well.
I doubted 2006.
Yeah.
I was like, have I got this wrong?
I was so confident then. I was like 2003, and then when Lewis said 2006, I was like, "Fuck, it
Yeah.
was 2006."
I was thinking like, is it 2006, like 2010? Those are the things. But you said 2003. Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, it's way too modern looking to be. You thought.
Yeah. First season was
Stop
2006.
sounding confident.
Second season was 2009, and the movie was in 2011, I think. I don't
Well, you did convince us. If there's ever a confidence test, then definitely you'll win it because you sounded confident.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I even doubted my
got brownie
thing I've got
points
written
there.
down here.
Yeah, that was brownie points for confidence.
So nobody gets a point there, but Taylor is in the lead
Oh,
with
I
1
got
point
1
after
point.
the first round,
Oh.
and Callum is falling behind. 1
Callum,
point.
it's alright, Callum.
A big fat 0 points. I'm gonna talk about what I've been watching before we start the next game.
Of course.
And I don't think any of you guys have watched this, actually. I don't think many people have watched it, although you guys will have heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Mamawaru Penguin Drum, or Mawawaro Penguin Drum,
Right,
or whatever
I've-
it's called.
I was
Just Penguin Drum.
thinking-
I've
of watching
definitely
that.
heard of it.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's quite you'll know it when you see it because it's quite a stylistic show. Like you'll know it's about penguins.
You've sold
And
it.
not many other
You've
anime
sold
are
it.
about penguins. I haven't even said if it's good or not.
I don't care.
It's
It's got
got penguins
penguins
in it. I'm
in
definitely
it,
gonna
yeah.
watch it. It's called Penguin Drum, and it is primarily penguins. There are penguins in every single episode, I think.
You are really selling this.
Maybe not the first one, but pretty much as soon as the penguins are introduced, they're in it for the long run.
Damn.
And it's a weird show because it's really trippy. I think that's the best word I can describe it. There's a lot of kind of weird stuff. Like they never really tell you what's real or not. Everything is kind of like either not real, a dream, or like an exaggerated version of what's happening. Like there's scenes where they'll represent like an argument with like a kind of video game style course where they have to like I think the one I can remember is they had to dodge giant wrecking balls that were rolling about their back garden, and that was like a representation of an argument that was happening. So it's a pretty weird show.
Yeah. That sounds
but
really
it's like-
cool.
Yeah, it is cool, but then that kind of takes away. It kind of negatively affects the actual story that's happening, because it's like really serious moments are kind of dumbed down a little bit by the fact that there's like all this like weird symbolism going on, because they like make everything a symbol. Like they add penguins to everything. Like cans of juice will have penguins on them, jackets will have penguins on their logos and stuff like that. So I don't know, it is quite weird to describe. The story itself is pretty interesting, although the first half they don't really focus on the story. They focus on another story that doesn't have much to do with the actual story. But the second half then gets into the story. It's 26 episodes, so there's quite a lot. But I would definitely recommend giving it a little watch, but it's definitely not going to be a show that everyone's going to like. I know some people will watch it and go, whoa, this is too crazy, this is too much. There's too much on the screen.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, I don't know if you guys would enjoy it. I don't know.
you've
you guys
sold
think of
me
like
at
a-
penguins already. You don't need to
Oh.
So
go
you're
any
already watching it
further.
because of
Shut up
penguins.
about Peggy, Callum. Seriously, I'm tired of fucking Peggy. This sounds like a Shaft show to me. I'm not even.
Yeah, if I was to make, if I was to like say a studio that would make it, I would say yeah, it would be made by Shaft. Although everything isn't real, it looks real. Like they don't exaggerate any kind of body gestures or anything like that. It does, like everything's in proportion and stuff. It's
Right.
just like it's really trippy.
Yeah, is it?
But I don't
is
know.
that
You get-
Brainspace?
I would
or-
watch maybe, yeah, it was Brainspace that done it. But it was Ikuhara is the director, and he's quite infamous for his weird stories and weird storytelling. But I would definitely watch this, maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes, and see if you can dig the style, because I know for a fact it won't be for everyone, and you can see that by some of the reviews. It's one of these shows where people will either really like or just like not like at all.
Right.
We're going to play Who's That Character.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So this is just as confusing as the actual podcast. So Callum and Taylor have prepared 2 characters each.
2 characters each.
Of course we have. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was 1 character each.
Okay, it's 1 character each then.
Good God.
Whatever you guys have prepared.
Good God, Callum, you're just changing the rules.
I was only
out of
told
nowhere.
to do 1 character. Okay.
Fine, one character then, and it's worth 2 points.
Okay.
Of course.
And what they're going to do is they're going to role play as the character. Subtly role play. They don't
Yeah.
have to get in costume. If you guys want to get in costume, I've got nothing against that.
Well, luckily, I've brought my exact cosplay out of my cupboard for
Oh.
this perfect situation. Brilliant.
Oh, will you look at this? I didn't know this was here.
Full wardrobe of cosplays.
Yeah, that's...
But so the aim of the game is they have to play out their character, be their character, become one with their character, and try and make me guess what character they are, who they are. But they can't just say, "I'm Naruto." They have to like be Naruto. And I have to go.
yeah.
So this is worth 2 points, guys.
2
This
points.
is big stuff.
Yeah, if Callum guesses, he's overtaken me. That's
Oh,
a lot.
yeah.
You've just leapfrogged Taylor here.
Yeah.
This is important.
This is very important.
Get in the zone, deep breaths. So the situation you guys are going to be on is going to be Callum, you're going to be a bus driver, and Taylor, you're going to be someone trying to get on the bus with no money, but you're going to be your character.
Perfect.
So act that situation out
Oh my God. Well, I'm loving this. All right.
and
then.
try and slip in who the character is.
Okay, this works perfectly for the character I've chose. Lovely.
Okay, so...
At least
Somebody gets on the bus a lot.
I hope it does.
It doesn't work at all for my
Callum,
character.
pick the bus driver. You could pick the bus driver from The Simpsons.
Yeah, strangely enough.
Okay. Commence whenever you guys want to. The bus pulls up.
The bus was up.
I'll do it as like a
Oh yeah,
fanfic.
you need to do the narration so we know when our cues are to talk and stuff.
The big, brown, juicy bus slides into the bus stop.
And then what, Lewis?
The bus door slips open and ... emerges himself into the bus and confronts the bus driver.
Hello there, bus driver. I would like to buy a ticket on this bus, but it's a shame. I don't make much money whatsoever, and when I'm trying to eat my bell peppers and beef, I'm only eating bell peppers because just I don't make much money whatsoever, so I'm literally living off peppers. It's fucking ridiculous. Just let me on the bus, okay, please, please.
Hello, welcome to the
Oh,
bus. I don't have any bell peppers for you, but I have some eggs. Would you like to have?
Is this what buses are like in Australia? I've never had a bus and he's offered me eggs.
Would you like to have some eggs, sir?
That's
I have no clue. I have no clue right now.
okay.
But
I
you
would
can
love to take some of
ride-
your.
You can ride on the roof if you like. It's not very safe, though.
I don't even know when you're finishing a sentence. This is ridiculous.
Neither do I know when this
I don't know if
character
this is part of
talks.
your character.
Just finish a
my
sentence
God.
and I'll speak.
I'm done. I'm done. You speak. Your turn.
All right, thank you, bus driver. I will take these eggs. I will hop on the roof because I do not like kids. I do not like women. I've completely fucked up that
Oh.
quote in the wrong order. Okay, I do not like kids, I do not like animals, and I hate women with bad attitude. So I'm gonna stand on top of the bus instead, because if I stay inside that bus with any of those three in there, I'm gonna flip my shit. So I'm just gonna stay on top of this bus and I'm gonna enjoy the bus ride.
Oh, okay, sir.
I-
Have fun.
Okay, I think I might
I'm
have
going
Taylor's
to-
from that quote.
Oh. I'm going to drive
But-
the bus now. Just remember that if you fall off, I probably won't care much.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
Right, I'm gonna take one guess. I'm gonna take the first guess,
Alright.
and if I can't get here, that is hard. So I know Callum's character likes eggs or has lots of eggs. I mean that could be. I don't even know where to start with that character. And Taylor's character, I'm not sure what was at the start. I didn't get that.
The bell
But
peppers
quote
and
he
beef,
said-
Lewis. I was talking about a dish of food.
Is it Spike from Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, it is, Lewis. Well done.
Ah,
yes.
I tried.
I didn't get the first bit.
I
I genuinely didn't get the first bit, but then the second bit, I remember that quote. I was like, I know where this is
I,
going.
I,
3 to
I will
0.
explain because I have a list written of these points that I wanted to get at. And the bell peppers and beef is from the scene where they have no money whatsoever, and it's Spike and Jet talking about, and he says bell peppers and beef is meant to come with bell peppers and beef, but there's no beef in the bell peppers and beef, so that's one thing I thought I should.
That was
jot
very
down.
good. That was very
Yeah,
good. Callum, who were you?
I was Inaho from El No Zero. 'Cause-
Eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
What?
I thought that was
Did she have?
famous.
Did she lay eggs?
He, like the main character, like the guy.
The main character.
Yeah,
yeah.
like in the
eggs.
yeah.
Where do eggs come into?
Because
Oh
there's
yeah, he
that-
likes eggs.
Yes, he likes eggs, and in
Oh,
the
that was
scene,
that's an
that's an
an obscure
and
reference.
in the scene with the bus, like the guy fell off, and he didn't seem to care much. That's,
Oh,
God.
okay. See, no, that could have
Oh,
made
wow.
sense for you. But then my next quote would be, "I love a kind of woman that can kick my ass," and thus I'm just bringing up all these Spike quotes because these are just
Yeah, you
these
were
are
bringing
just great.
quotes.
could
I
work
was
with
just-
so much.
I can't remember watching How No Zero.
Did he even? Yeah, no. Did he even have any quotes? Did he even talk much?
He didn't talk much.
Oh,
He just
you know.
like was really, really boring. So I tried to be utterly boring.
Okay, Taylor. What have you been watching?
See, this is the thing. I'm not like normal people when it comes to watching anime. Actually, no. I'm completely normal when it comes to watching anime. All I watch is seasonal shows. Like I never watch anything besides seasonal shows.
What was the last non-seasonal thing you watched?
it was
I've never heard of that show. Let's talk about some seasonal.
Let's talk
then.
about some seasonal shows, sure, because
Let's talk about
Seasonal.
from something from last season.
something from
that-
last
that
season.
romance.
Now you're pulling.
Al Haru Ride.
Ow,
Let's talk about that.
right.
You guys like that?
You're
right?
bringing that up because I love that so much. Ow, how right. Shoujo romance series.
Calm, did you watch this?
No,
Does he know what we're talking about?
I know what you're
Okay, so
talking
good
about.
then. Well, this
but-
works. This works.
What?
We've
Because
always
I
had
don't get
someone
to
that hasn't
talk.
watched it. Okay. Well, we get to explain what it is to you.
Oh,
It has
okay.
penguins in it, by the way.
Oh, does that? Okay, I've sold it.
No.
Plan to watch. Yeah.
Okay, no, Taylor, you explain it. You explain what
Okay,
what's
Our
all
How
about.
Ride is an amazing shoujo romance series, and if nobody knows, shoujo romance, without a doubt, is my favorite genre of anime. It just tugs on the heartstrings. It's beautiful. It's just watching these characters just fall in love every single time. Just the same plot devices are used over and over again, but with just different characters, and it works all the time. Obviously, some people would say different, but being a shoujo romance tad, I'm immune to all these plot devices. I can watch them over and over again, and they're just as good as the last one. So in Our How Ride, what we're basically looking at is two characters who were once in love, but then were split apart for a few years. They then come back together as friends in a high school, of course, and then that's where the relationship develops, starting from friends, and it goes on further. We look into some different themes and emotions of different characters. We even have a love triangle coming at one point. Oh, and it's just the whole thing of the show, the whole dynamic of the show just works really well. With basically a lot of the show focuses on the past of characters, and trying to look at each character's past and trying to correlate that with the future that they're in right now. And basically the message of the show was, it's just the past was in the past. Everything that's happening now in the present has nothing to do with what happened back then. Even though they were such fond memories, the stuff that's happening now in the present is completely brand new to them. It's like a fresh new slate. So watching all these characters interact was another great part of the show, mixed with that art style I absolutely love, because
I was just about to say that. It has a really awesome art style.
I love the art
Okay,
style for the show.
It's nice and unique. It's weird. Shoujo's actually, it's weird because like normally people say, oh, romance they're all the same, they're all generic, but shoujo shows tend to have like pretty unique art styles. Like they all have their own kind of little art style that they use, which is pretty cool. Because just doing the same high school setting over and over again can get quite repetitive if you don't use your own art style.
Oh yeah, and with Our How Ride especially, they use is some sort of I think it was some sort of kind of, it was whenever they would do like a dream sequence basically, or a flashback, they would have this kind of watercolor painted background,
yeah.
and it looked absolutely beautiful. And the art style kind of remind me of Say I Love You, which is another
Yeah, I was about to
shoujo
say that,
romance
yeah.
show, which I thought it looked dead like it to begin with, but then obviously Say I Love You I'd say it was more of a kind of a brighter, more colourful show.
Yeah, it wasn't as dramatic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they kind of played around with a light romance in Say I Love You.
yeah.
But in Our How Ride, it was like a lot more conflict, and you could right from the start, like right when they introduced the teacher character, it was like this is going to get dramatic. I better prepare my dramatic defense because there's going to be some kind of crazy scenes. And then they introduced more characters, and I think they done that whole dramatic thing pretty well, because some shows try and do the dramatic thing but they just sound cheesy and boring. But I think Our How Ride, I really enjoyed the drama in it.
Especially in like shoujo romances where drama is absolutely key.
Yeah.
Like you need the conflict between the love interests for it to work. You need conflict. You can't just have everything go hunky-dory. And in Our
You need to be able to end an
well.
episode and have to watch the next episode.
Yeah, it has
see
to be a
what happens.
cliffhanger. A good cliffhanger is sometimes hard to find in romance shows nowadays. But in Our How Ride, they did it brilliantly. The drama between the characters.
Mm-hmm. Are you convinced to watch it, Callum?
I just know that every time you said drama or dramatic, there was a thunderstorm. So the very gods.
Are you serious?
The Earth itself. If you can hear that.
Oh wow!
The
Oh,
Earth
wow, no,
itself
that's
is
not
telling
bad.
me to watch Our How Ride.
Yeah, that's God. God's obviously a fan. Or not
God is obviously
Zeus.
a fan of
Zeus is
shoujo
the guy who
romances.
does the lightning.
Would you
He's like the janitor of Sky.
would you
He's
consider
obviously a fan of shoujo.
would you consider it to be a good gateway to the genre?
For shoujo?
For shoujo.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe a bit dramatic depending on who, like, what you're used to. I think if someone's just watched your normal romance without much drama, maybe watch like Say I Love You, that has a little bit of drama.
I'd say Say I Love You or maybe My Little Monster, because the drama's especially in My Little Monster, is barely whatsoever conflict. So really, it's the same as coming out of a. If anything, even though My Little Monster is classed as a shoujo romance, it's really like a rom-com, where Say I Love You is a pretty good starting show for a shoujo romance, where you get the whole relationship, you get the whole lovey-dovey feel of the show, but the drama itself is toned down and not too serious.
That's the thing, like, it just depends on how adapt you are to drama, because like shoujo's all about the drama, so you kind of need to go in and you have to be able to handle the drama, which I know a lot of people aren't, which is why a lot of people get turned off by shoujo, because it's too dramatic. I think there have been shows that have been too dramatic. I think Anohana, the flower we saw that day, I think this is the English title.
Yeah.
I think that was too dramatic. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but it's like,
I haven't seen that.
It's like a love pentagon. There's like it's like 6 characters all seem to love each other, and then love everybody else but the person that loves them. It's insanely. It is genuinely. I think it's 6 or 7 characters, and it's a decagon or whatever that is. But it's crazy, and the last couple of episodes are just like the most dramatic, based ending I think I've ever seen in terms of a shoujo kind of romance thing. I'm not sure if that was a shoujo, but it was a very dramatic romance anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes a very dramatic romance can border onto the actual lines of being shoujo, but the shoujo genre just kind of has its own kind of feel to it. It's really hard to put on it. But obviously, most of the time in shoujo romances, the whole demographic is based around females. So I'd say
it's probably a little bit a mature version of normal romance shows.
It is
a more mature version, I think, because there's normally less fan service than say like Sakuraso or Toradora.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say there's any,
and it's a little bit more.
It's minimum fan service in shoujo romances, and in shoujo romances, even though drama is overdone in some cases where it just doesn't work, the realistic-esque feel of a relationship is what I really enjoy in shoujo romances in particular.
That's definitely what it is. Because is it aimed at? Is there an age group for the females it's aged at? I can't remember.
It's the female equivalent of shonen, basically. So it's teenage.
So it's people based at teenage girls.
Girls, yeah,
are probably in relationships or dealing with that when relationships are the most dramatic in high school.
It is the ideal situation for them, honestly. Just watching shoujo romances as they're in high school. They're gonna get the completely wrong idea of what real life is actually like.
Yeah, they're gonna go into a relationship and say, "Oh, aren't we meant to like fight? And where's like your friend who also likes me, and your friend who I like? Where is this? We just like each other. This isn't how romance is meant to be."
Where's the conflict? And they're just like, they're looking around every single corner, looking for like, where's like her first love from
who died and became a ghost and has actually come back to be loved.
Something incredibly stupid like that. Yeah.
So that was Ao Haru Ride, which was last season, right?
Last season, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm surprised you didn't watch that, Callum. I thought you watched everything.
I'd say
I watched
from what I've seen
this season, but not much last season.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd put that on your plan to list.
Oh yeah.
Plan to list. Put that on your plan to list.
I will plan to list.
Put that on your watch to plan list.
Yeah, words.
Yeah, put it on your plan to list now. So then later, once you finish the podcast, you can take that plan and put it into action and add it to your plan to watch list.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into our final game. Ooh. So it's 3-0 to Taylor right now.
I know. I'm tearing it up. I'm gonna be the reigning champion.
You can't win, Callum. You can't win, but you can bring it back to a draw.
Okay, I'm happy with a draw.
3 points?
I can't see Taylor. I don't want Taylor to win in life.
What will you do with yourself? If you've been beaten, you've been humiliated live on air.
This is going on Twitter
as soon
as I win. This is going all over Twitter, Callum, and you're going to be so ashamed.
Okay.
I don't want.
So this feature is Japanese or not. The premise of this game is that I say a word, and the word will kind of relate to us. Like, it'll be, say, anime review, but whatever that is in Japanese. I don't think that's actually a word in Japanese, but it'll be something along the lines of that you will kind of know, but it will be in Japanese. And there will also be dummies, so there might be one that isn't even a word in Japanese.
Thank God, I learnt I've got 5-6 years of learning Japanese.
Well done. And
Come on.
Taylor,
Come on,
use
Taylor.
anime. Yeah, I'm ready.
We should all be fluent in Japanese. We watch anime.
Of
we should all be
course, of
fluent.
course.
Like, Ohayo gozaimasu. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so
that's not how you say it.
So it'll be the same as guess the year, where you get a point. You both get to answer, and whoever gets it right gets a point.
There's only 2
But
options.
obviously it'll be 2 options for what?
There's only 2. Well, it's Japanese
no,
or not.
the
So if
two
we
op-
both
the
say
two
Japanese
options-
and we both say
No, but it's not just is it Japanese or not. You have to guess what it means.
Oh, we have to guess what it means.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Do you think
that's-
I was giving you guys a 50-50 chance?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, oh, this is a bit easy.
No.
The title kind of suggests that, Japanese or not guess the Japanese word.
Maybe I'll change the name for next episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first word is Nishijo.
Nichijo means
That is Nichijo.
Yeah, no, I know
Nichijo.
what that means as well. Before you say that,
yeah, that's
Okay, what
that's
does it mean?
regular life, like everyday life.
yeah, my ordinary life, something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys both got that right.
So we cancel each other out.
It means every day, as in anime every day. Okay, so the next okay, so nobody gets a point for that.
Nice.
So I've already lost.
Keeping
you've lost.
him under my boot.
But I mean, you're 3-0 down right now. If you can bring it back to 3-2, that's not
As long as I
embarrassing.
get
People
a
are going to look
point,
back
yeah.
at that in years.
Yeah.
People are going to look back at a 3-0 defeat and say, "Wow, that was crazy." But a 3-2 defeat, that's just 1 point.
Yeah, that means
So you
I
still
worked
have,
for
you
it.
still have. That's not a humiliation. Okay. The next word is basumatsu.
Basumatsu.
That's basumatsu.
Basumatsu.
What
Fake.
could that possibly mean? Is that your answer?
yeah,
My-
that's
Taylor, do you wanna-
definitely
My
not
answer.
Japanese word.
And my answer is it's not a real word.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you weren't saying it was the Japanese for the word fake.
Oh,
I thought
no.
that's what you were saying.
No, that's a
no,
Nisa, by
that's-
the way.
Oh, jeez. See this
That's
guy,
Nissan.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done this game if I knew you knew Japanese.
Actually,
Okay,
no.
so
okay,
yeah, that wasn't actually a word. So you
Okay,
guys
knew
both
it.
got that right. So
see, Callum,
3-0 still.
Callum.
God.
Nisei, that's
Oh.
fine. I actually know that actually means false. Do you know why I know that? Because Nisei coin
Because
made
Nisa Monogatari.
Japan.
Oh, I was going to say Nisa
No,
Monogatari.
Nisei coin made false love. I know
Ah,
this.
of course, of course.
Okay.
Expert in
Yeah, but that was
Japanese.
just a random word. Basumatsu sounds like a Japanese word.
Yeah, except it's got TSO when you'd have to put the yo particle in and it would be Hatsumatsuyo.
fucking weeb.
Okay, so that's where I've fallen down.
Yeah.
You and
I've failed to
Ben,
create a
you and
Japanese
Ben,
word.
just fucking hold hands and go to
Yeah.
Japan together. Honestly, go in
Yeah,
the mail.
I'm never
bass.
playing. I'm making sure people don't know Japanese before I play Japanese or not. Okay, the last one, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just have this one for Callum
Sure,
because
sure.
Taylor could just cancel out his thing and get 3-0. I want to give Callum a chance to get 1 point back.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead. Yeah.
This word, the final word, the last chance you have to gain a point, is Sukotorando. That's Sukotorando.
Sugotorando.
What does this mean?
I think it's
Sukotorando.
I don't think it's a real word.
You don't think it's a real word?
I don't think it's a real word.
Callum, it's a 3-0 defeat.
Oh.
Sukotorando is Scotland in Japan.
Oh, that's katakana. That's
Scotland. Scotland.
How didn't you know that, Callum? I knew that, Callum. That's
If you listen to the pronunciation from
Yeah.
a real Japanese person, it just sounds like Scotland.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to say it in my terrible Japanese. But
Ah,
yeah, so that's it. 3-0 defeat, Callum.
that's
Post-game interview, how do you feel?
terrible. Ditch the
Devastating.
podcast. Delete your files. This can't go to where.
Is it true? Is it true you're deleting your YouTube channel
Oh.
because of this humiliation?
Oh, of course. I can't live with this.
And the
Where do you think
best-
you went wrong? Where do you think your tactics went wrong?
The tactics
Keep me down,
went wrong with
around,
Taylor being here,
never
being
keep me down.
a cocky bastard.
Yeah, that was a major flaw. He did score 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him scoring 3
When
points.
I score
that
points,
was-
you do tend to lose. That's
Yeah.
That is how numbers work.
I do think it.
3 is indeed higher than nothing.
Yeah. Oh, if only you would have guessed the eggs. If only.
If only I'd guessed
with
eggs,
that. Yeah.
an obscure reference from an anime I didn't really watch.
I went through your hummingbird and said, "Oh, he's watched Down Zero. He'll get the eggs joke."
I know I have watched it. I did watch it, but I didn't really watch it. I was
Oh.
just like kind of watched it.
see, and
Just
and
kind
I
of-
went. I saw Cowboy Bebop. Perfect.
Yeah, you went,
Lewis
everybody knows
Cowboy
must
Bebop.
love that show.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Cowboy
Everybody
Bebop.
loves,
Everyone knows
everybody
Spike.
loves Spike. Everybody knows his quotes. Everybody knows his character.
Yeah.
Gotta think
See,
smart,
so-
Callum. Gotta think smart.
For the last section of our review, yeah,
Yeah, let's
last
call it a
section of
review.
our podcast,
This is a giant review, people.
giant review of free anime. No, but we've got some viewer Q&As. Although, since this is the first episode, we don't have any viewers yet, so it's Two Folk We Know Q&A. We've got 2 questions from a really cool guy and a not so cool guy.
One of them, Dylan.
I'll let you.
Is that
I'll
a,
let you
is
guys
that a
work
quiz
it.
question? Can I get my points back by guessing who's who?
No,
This one is worth 10,000 points. So the first question, is from Glenn. What
Glenn's a cool
do you
guy.
think of emotos? Deep question.
Yeah, of course.
deep and
that's a
philosophical.
that is a Glenn question through and through.
Fucking
Yeah.
golly.
I don't know if he means in real life
I don't
I
think
don't have any
I think he
Emoto in
means
real
in
life.
anime, which is
or if he means in the anime world, which is the real life.
Oh, of course.
Which for Glenn is more real than real life. Because Glenn is an anime character.
Glenn is an anime.
If you guys didn't
character.
know, he's not actually a real person.
He's a teenage high
He's
school
not a real boy.
anime girl.
Look, it's fine having your own little Emoto character, but when you're in a romance harem, when all the girls are trying to get with this guy, and this Emoto is part of the harem itself, I'm just like, no.
But doesn't the emoto work to the advantage sometimes in shoujo? Because it's like, oh, you have a cute little sister. Like, doesn't that work to the advantage and say I love you?
No, because that causes like some of the drama. Remember?
It causes some of the drama, but ultimately it causes them to grow closer.
No, that's
You can quote that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I don't mind emotos when they're actually used as like plot devices for
They're never
to
they're never
either create
realistic.
drama or to bring characters closer together. But
Yeah.
what, like I said, when they're in a harem and they're actually going after their Onisan, it's kind of off-putting. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, when they're used in the way Glenn uses them.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to know how
barely
Glenn
God,
uses them.
God, if you follow Glenn on Twitter and you see some of the pictures he favourites, don't know how the police haven't
ever
found him
since-
yet. Honestly,
Ever since they've added the feature for favorites to pop up on the feed, I can't look at Twitter in public anymore.
I can't honestly.
I'm scared a policeman will be looking over my shoulder. He'll grab me.
Yeah.
He'll grab him by the ear and say, "You're coming downtown." So the second question is by Cynical Noob, and
Can we skip that?
says
What a
another
great guy.
great philosophical way. Yeah, one of the great philosophers of the anime community.
Mm-hmm.
He's raised such questions as, what if Japan banned anime?
Oh, that was
mean-
a
Oh.
question.
A classic.
Which I think did someone make a reply to
Shut
that?
up.
Yeah, Callum,
Did
you
maybe
can call
someone
it-
make a reply video?
Yeah,
I
Callum,
did
you
make
can
a
call it
reply,
all you want, but,
However, my reply was very good. It was the best. It was the best answer to that question. To that hypothetical.
Well, this time the noob has boggled us
Ooh.
with a question that is, what are some good anime sequels?
How can I next?
Deep.
Well,
anime sequels.
That's-
Durarara season 2. It hasn't even come out yet, but I know
Hasn't
that
come out
free.
yet.
I know that free
I'm-
Kerr show is just gonna be fucking off the hook.
How do you know though? Like, Durarara.
No,
like,
because
it had.
it's Durarara, Callum. Do not question it. You know
I-
Durarara.
I know Durara. I love Durara. It's one of my favourite series. But do you think it's going to be like 48 episodes when the next year's
No,
done?
36. 36 it'll be, because it's free cur. So 36 episodes is plenty. And when I can
So that's
look,
36 new episodes.
yeah, and I can
Yeah,
look
I
back
thought-
then and I can be like, Durarara will have a total of 60 anime episodes. Season 1, Season 2. How good is that?
That's pretty crazy.
It's a bit.
Do they have
much,
enough story?
though.
Like, have they got
Yeah.
story to fill up 32 episodes?
They
I'm not
totally
sure-
do, because the
I'm not
story
sure.
was very... No, but they kind of
the
wrapped it up in
secrets
the
have been
first
a re-
season, but
They've been revealed.
Go on,
We know
go on.
what we know about the gangs. We know the history of the gangs. We know about all the characters. There's no the reason Durara was great was because you were entering this new city and everything was happening. There was loads of things going on, and then as the show went on, you started to discover more and more about everything, specifically what's happening. It's like, oh, this character isn't a mystery. This character is.
Yeah.
He's a Zaya.
So they kind of wrapped it up
personality.
then at the end of the first season.
Yeah, it feels like it's wrapped up, and it feels like we know
So maybe
everything.
they're going to start a new kind of like branch of stories. Maybe they're going to completely change
no,
it.
because
Yeah.
what I know so far from it, it's set 6 months in the future. So at the end of Durarara, we had one of the main characters leave the show to go and travel with another female character, but supposedly
Right.
this is when he returns. And to see what I'm really looking forward to, because the one thing in Durarara, Ikebukuro was almost a character itself. It is
Yeah.
the city and the atmosphere of it is just, it is almost as it's its own character.
Yeah.
So seeing the development of the city and not just the characters 6 months later is what I'm really looking forward to. Because there's particular characters I didn't really like their personality, like the main character, for one. I didn't particularly enjoy him, so let's just hope that he's actually grown a pair of balls by the time we actually see him again in 6 months. And hopefully, let's just hope the character interactions are as good as, you know, the first series, because that's what made Durarara so good, was the characters themselves and the interactions between them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that'll be interesting to see how they take it then. If it's not just if it's not like they left it on a cliffhanger in the first season, if they wrapped it up, it'll be interesting to see how they boot it back up again and see where
Well,
that
it
goes.
was in the first season where obviously it was 24 episodes, but for the first 12 episodes it was more about introducing the characters themselves and
Yeah.
introducing minor
Yeah.
problems, which were settled within 1 or 2 episodes. Then episode 12 happened, was when the overarching plot of the whole show began to develop, which
Yeah.
people complain
Um,
about the first season of Durarara, saying
yeah.
the second half was worse than the first, but to be honest, I thought I enjoyed the first half just as much as I did the second half. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So the new season will be starting next season
Yeah, next season.
Yeah, that's when the
for
first call
3
will happen.
consecutive seasons.
I don't know
No,
if it's
it'll be-
Or is it- are they
consecutive. I
taking
think there's
breaks?
like a couple of breaks in
No,
between them,
it's
but
it'll be one cur, a break, one cur,
Yeah.
a break, and then
That's the
last
best
cur.
way to do it, because
Yeah.
it feels like you've had it like constantly for like a year.
I think it's
And
going to be
that's gonna be
finishing
so
winter
weird.
2016.
Yeah.
So that'll be happening next season if anyone wants to watch it. That's Anime Hanashi, sponsored by Durarara.
It's on
us free
Crunchyroll as
anime.
well, and Aniplex has already
it?
picked it up.
Is it our Crunchyroll? Is it the terrible UK
Oh.
Crunchyroll?
I don't know about that.
Or is it the one
That's,
that you have to proxy? If you want to know how to proxy Crunchyroll, go to
Dylan,
Noob's
yeah.
Wisdom, unlocking Crunchyroll. Somewhere in
Sure,
the
it's gonna
description,
be there.
maybe.
Or on the screen, or behind the screen.
Or
on
behind
your
the
face.
screen, completely out of view, so you can't even click it.
You have to go behind the YouTube video. So I say another good sequel would be the currently airing Mushishi sequel. There's been loads of unsuccessful sequels though. I think sequels tend to be a hit or a miss. Sometimes they're good, and then sometimes they get like a whole new team in, and maybe like a new director, and the story just sucks.
Oh, this is awful.
I'm trying to think of the worst sequel I've ever watched.
Maybe
Maybe Eureka 7 AO, but I don't really consider that a sequel. the most disappointing
Madoka
anyway.
Magical Rebellion.
Was that a sequel? That was a sequel movie, wasn't
It
it?
was a sequel movie, but I'd still count it as a very disappointing
yeah,
sequel.
definitely.
Um,
So yeah, so
there's some disappointments with sequels, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
It really just depends like what type of show it is. If they wrapped it up and then like got a new team in and got different writers and stuff, then it tends to suck. But if it's something like, obviously Nisekoi is getting another season soon. I don't know what season that'll be coming in, but that's going to have a season 2. I think that's like the perfect show for a second season and a third season and a fourth season.
Nisekoi. That's
they'll
why
make it as long as
I
they
enjoy Nisekoi so much, because so many people complained about it. It's like, why is there no romance developing? Why is this? I'm like, shut up. Enjoy the shipping and enjoy the comedy and interactions between the characters. You know, going into this, they weren't gonna solve the whole key shit by now. Like, I'm reading the I'm reading the manga right now, and nothing really develops. It's just more characters get introduced. We get
if you watch it thinking
interactions.
there's going to be a conclusion, then you're going to be very disappointed.
You're gonna be very disappointed.
Maybe they'll do it one day. Maybe they'll do it after 400 chapters.
Maybe
like Naruto.
when the manga finally ends, he will actually discover who he had the key with. Well, he has a bunch of fucking girls with keys. He's a pimp, I'll be honest. You'll discover one day which was the actual girl that he made the promise with, and maybe he'll get with her. We don't know.
Maybe you'll have a threesome.
But it's about the adventure.
But don't you find out?
Yeah, it's
don't
about the
the
journey.
audience find that out at the first episode? Isn't that frustrating to see, like, oh, this is the real one, and then
No.
No, they don't show you.
We know who he likes, and then the person he likes also likes him back. But then it's this awkward cliche thing where they can't tell each other, and then we have these other characters that are brought
And
in.
he starts to kind of change his mind as well. Like
He does,
he
which
kind of switches and swaps from characters sometimes.
and
Quite conveniently, when an opportunity
conveniently.
to get with the other character comes, he says, "Actually, I think I like the original character."
It's like, I might actually like this character now, because he already had feelings for one character in the show, but then our main female character, who is the actual main character of the show, it's not fucking Onodera, to anyone who's doubting me, okay? Kirasaki is the main female, and she is the... Okay, I'm not gonna rant. But she is the main female that comes in, and all these other females come in and obviously develop feelings for Raku, because, you know,
Because he's the main protagonist.
he's the main protagonist of a harem series, so of course all the girls are going to like him. And then it's where he'll start to develop the relationships with other characters, and sooner or later he may end up falling for another character, as he's already done with one. And what I've noticed while reading the manga, which is absolutely hilarious, the actual mangaka literally just focuses one chapter on each girl, and he has like a set routine, and he'll go like
he just rotates that.
and he rotates it, and I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that, but it works really well, so I'm not gonna complain.
And I don't think it really gets boring, because it's like the characters are good characters, so you could watch them do anything. Like if you actually look at what's happening in an episode, is like nothing's happening.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's just, but it works really well. The formula works really well. So I'll be watching the second season.
But it does give the nice illusion that something is happening.
Yeah.
The false illusion that the story is actually developed, but it has not whatsoever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait for a second season. The art style and the animation, like,
So nice.
it's so nice. Like, you wouldn't expect Shaft to do a show like that. They always try to do the artsy kind of
deep metaphorical symbolism.
Type of shows. You know, you got your Madokas, you got your Monogatari series, but with Nisekoi it was a completely different kind of touch, and it worked really well. I'll be honest, the show looked beautiful. One of the most beautiful looking shows of this year, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's a good note, a nice positive note to end this episode. This has been an enjoyable episode.
I know, I
Um,
did.
no, it hasn't. It's been awful.
And it's been well, maybe for us winners.
Yeah, God.
How do you win as well?
I automatically win. I'm the host. The host
Ah.
always wins.
I want to be back. I want to be back on this podcast.
Yeah, maybe like a rematch
Maybe,
Yeah.
one day.
Someday I'll be back.
to reclaim your title.
I'm
Yeah.
about this all week now. Brilliant.
It's gonna be intolerable.
Maybe I'll make like a little medal, and you can put that in all your your pictures.
Oh wait,
on
Lewis, what's
Twitter
my
and Skype.
prize, Lewis? What's my prize?
Well, that'll be revealed in episode 2.
Oh, here we go, people.
Which you can buy. You can buy episode 2 and 3 right now if you want. Like I said,
if you want to
on
know what Taylor,
animehanashi.com.
if you want to know what Taylor won, go and buy the new episode right now.
Or you can wait and watch it in about a week on YouTube. But yes, thank you everybody who watched, and thank you Callum for coming on, and thank you Taylor for coming on.
No problem, Lewis. Been a
It's
pleasure.
been fun.
Has it been fun?
The
It's
sarcasm
been terribly
in his
depressing,
voice.
but
Is defeat fun?
You
I
loser.
learned.
Okay,
I
so-
learned from defeat.
You will come back stronger next time in Anime Hanashi Season 2, Return of the Kanibara.